Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in again. Today I want to talk about Carlos Sainz Jr.'s future in Formula 1 because there have been a lot of speculation recently about where he might end up. Personally, I think he should stay at Williams, and in this video I'll explain why I believe that's probably the best option for him. Now, I know there have been plenty of rumors, discussions linking Carlos with teams such as Alpine, Aston Martin and Audi. That's understandable, especially when a team is going through a difficult period. However, based on what we can see here from the outside, I still think staying at Williams makes the most sense. Before I go any further, if you're new around here and you enjoy Formula 1 content, I'd really appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing to the channel. A quick introduction for anyone who hasn't watched my videos before. I've been following Formula 1 since the age of 6 years old, and it's been one of my biggest passions ever since. Over the years I've been fortunate enough to visit the Williams factory, be hosted by Aston Martin, and speak with a number of people who have worked or still work within Formula 1. I've also had the privilege of some fascinating guests connected with the sport, including Sebastian Vettel, who is the only Formula 1 driver I've had on the channel so far. So if you enjoy Formula 1 discussion and interviews with people from the sport, I think you'll enjoy what the channel has to offer. Now back to today's topic. Williams are clearly going through a challenging spell at the moment, but my impression is that the team is still working towards a long-term plan under James Wolfe. Building a Formula 1 team is rarely something that happens overnight, and progress is often anything but straightforward. Of course, none of us knows exactly what conversations took place before Carlos decided to join Williams. However, it seems reasonable to assume that he believed in the team's long-term vision and felt it was the right move for him at that point in his career. That's my interpretation based on what decision he made. Because of that, I don't personally think that a difficult period should automatically mean it's time to look elsewhere. One of the things I love about Formula 1 is it's incredibly unpredictable. Teams that look strong today can find themselves struggling a couple of years later, while teams that are rebuilding can sometimes make significant progress much sooner than people expect. That's why I don't agree with the idea that staying with Williams would necessarily damage Carlos Sainz's career. That's my opinion, of course. None of us can predict the future, and there simply aren't any guarantees in Formula 1, regardless of which team a driver chooses. There's also something to be said for committing to a project that you believe in. If Carlos genuinely believes Williams can move forward over the next few years, then I think there's a strong argument for him staying the course rather than reacting to a difficult spell. Whether that ultimately proves to be the right decision is something only time will tell. That's my view anyway, but I genuinely like to know what you think. Do you think Carlos Sainz should stay at Williams, or do you think another team would be a better fit for him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, let's keep the discussion respectful. And if you've enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel. I've been creating YouTube videos for around 10 years now. The channel hasn't grown as quickly as I'd hoped, but I genuinely enjoy making these videos and have no intention of stopping. If you'd like to support the channel beyond subscribing and watching, you can also scan the QR code on the screen or check out the links in the video description. Any financial support is completely optional, but it's always greatly appreciated. Every contribution helps me continue producing videos like this, and I'm grateful for any support you choose to give. Thank you very much for watching once again. Take care of yourself, keep safe, and I'll see you again soon for another video.